watching Rasa the Dancer channel, which makes me so happy. And this video is gonna be for the followers. If you're not a follower, maybe you know a follower that could benefit from this video, or maybe you just like watching these kind of videos, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, I appreciate you. Anywho, we're gonna be doing a lady styling for bachata video. Now it's not gonna be an actual styling, but there is gonna be top 5 points that are about styling, and there's gonna be few examples as well. So I am sure there's gonna be something that you can benefit from, at least one of the things for sure. So stick around. There's gonna be top 5 things that we're going to be talking about when it comes to bachata styling, and I will see you soon. Okay, so first thing that I would like to talk about is footwork. When you do bachata styling with footwork, you gotta be careful not to interrupt the lead. So your job as a follower is to follow, and anything that you do with styling, if it interferes the lead, it's not really efficient styling. But there are some footwork that usually wouldn't interfere almost none of the moves that I could think of from the top of my head. And that is the basic syncopation. So sometimes when you're dancing around and you hear something in the music and you would like to style something with your feet because your arms are being busy by being helped by the lead. So you could do your syncopation, which would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You could do the same syncopation while you're doing a basic 10. For example, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So even if the guy or the lead, who is leading you, is leading you into a basic step, you could do that extra little syncopation in the end rather than doing a normal tap. And that would already look a little bit more interesting. And also for yourself, when you're listening to the music, it would be a little bit more exciting because you would be doing something of your own as an extra to the dance. So that could be one of the things that you use as a styling bit for your bachata. Now let's talk about arm styling. In bachata, there's so many different ways to style, but I want to talk about one particular thing, is when your hand is free. When your hand is free, there's many options, but I'll show you 3 or 4 really basic options that you really cannot go wrong with. Because with more intricate styling, it really depends on what kind of move and position you are in. But with this arm styling that I'm going to show you, you can kind of get away with almost any time that your hand is free. But one thing that I do want to mention, again, you don't want to interfere the lead. So pay attention. Anytime you use your arms for styling, pay attention if the leader needs your arm back, because you might have only a split second to style before you have to give that hand back. If not, you can do something more. But if he asks for it, or whoever's leading, if they ask for it, you have to be ready. Otherwise, it's just annoying that you're doing all this styling with the hands, and the leader can never do a proper combination with you because you're just never ready, right? So pay attention. But now, styling. Anytime, doesn't matter whether it's this hand or that hand, every time the hand is free, you have an opportunity. The basic version is to place the hand on the hip. Okay, I'll show you from this direction. On the hip here, or on the hip here, right? Both hands. Now, the reason I'm showing you like this and not like this, I think it's clear. If it's here, it just seems like you're resting. But the moment you twist your hand slightly backwards, it has a bit more of a shape and it brings you upwards. And it has a really nice line as well. So anytime you're in a position where there's an opening or something, you could be using the hand on the hip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it could be on the hip, right? Or 5, 6, 7, 8 could be on the hip. Now, number 2, you can try and extend the hand to the side, but when you're extending the hand to the side, you gotta have a little glance so that you wouldn't slap somebody while you do it. So you could potentially be going 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Or 5, 6, 7, and 8. Or, of course, you have the middle section. You can also bring the hand all the way up, and that would look something like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? But as soon as you bring those hands up or to the side, you gotta look whether he needs the hand to pick it up for another move. This one is the safest option, and it also looks cute. But you can try and experiment with the side and the upwards as well. We talked about our footwork, we talked about the arms, all basic, but something to practice. And now we're going to talk about body movement. In bachata in particular, there's different kind of body movement to depending what kind of style of bachata do you dance. One thing that is universal is hip action, so that is one of the things that I'm going to be showing you today. Again, you gotta do things that don't interrupt the lead. I'm sorry that I keep repeating myself, but it is so important. And I lead as well, so I know how annoying it can be when I have a follower who's doing all this beautiful styling and none of the lead, she doesn't get none of the lead that I wanted to do. It's so frustrating. Anyway, back to the point, body movement. We're gonna try and talk about the hip. One of the easiest styling bits that you can use with your hip almost any time is the figure 8. You can do it on the basic step. So if I show you from your basic step, figure 8 always starts slightly angled, right? So when I step in, I'm already a little bit angled, and then I'm going to be bringing the hip backwards so that the other one starts getting ready for the action as well. And then it finishes off with a little twist as well, right? So a little bit faster, it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That figure 8 you could do almost any time. So if you want to do a little bit of an extra body movement with your hip, you can. Just make sure that you're not doing your figure 8 with the whole body, right? This is still connected while you're dancing, and it's just this that do a little something something. The other extra thing that I'm going to show you is a little booty roll, but the booty roll, we can only do it when the guy is doing something on the spot. So if he's traveling, we wouldn't do a booty roll, okay? Because we need to keep traveling, and booty roll stops us on the spot. So if he's doing something on the spot, you could potentially be doing 1, 2, 3. He stays on the spot for the 5, 6, 7, 8. Booty roll. And, right? So when he stops with the booty roll, we take one step to the side. Everything's going to happen on a straight knee. I take a step to the side. I prep slightly angled. The booty goes all the way around. I'm not bending, so wouldn't be rude. Yes, I'm still holding my core tight, so I'm just arching. So when I extend, I arch and I bring myself back into my timing to continue the basic on 1. Yes, or it could be the other direction. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the booty might start on 1 because he's staying on the spot. I have this time, and I can do my booty roll to collect to go for the 5. But remember, you can also do your figure 8 on the spot in order to move just on the spot, in order to do some sort of body movement styling thing. So that could be 1, or in this case 2 extra things that you can do while you're dancing. I believe it's really important to talk also about musicality. Now, I'm not going to show you any particular styling with musicality, but musicality, you need to have music. And if I show you on one song musicality, it's not going to be the same on the other song. So all I'm going to do is tell you this. Of course, when you're dancing and you're following a leader, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, but he or whoever is leading, deciding on what kind of styling there's going to be on musically, if that makes any sense, because he's going through combinations, and the leader is focusing on whether he's going to stop where there's a stop or whether he even knows the song. So as a follower, you have very little opportunity to use music. But what you can do, as I said, use footwork to mark the music. But also I want to talk about the fact that you can actually be brave and not always, but sometimes get the leader's attention. So on a big moment in bachata, there's a lot of times when the music just dramatically stops and then starts again. If you know that stop is happening, you could do something playful to stop whatever he's doing. If the leader is in some sort of complicated move, you can't do that. But if he's just doing a basic step or basic turn, if you do playful and you're just going ra 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 da ra da da and going bah and look into his eyes and smile, he would actually appreciate you stopping and making him acknowledge the fact that there was a change in music and you noticed it, but you did it with a little bit of a cheek and you did it with a smile and you did it with him. Not to tell the leader that, oh, you don't know that it's supposed to happen. You're doing it more like, well, I knew and I wanted you to be part of this. So it's all about how you approach this, but I do it all the time because I know every song, every beat. Bachata music just drives me so happy and crazy. So when I dance with somebody and they are leading, and I know something is about to happen, and I see that the person that I'm dancing with doesn't know this, I do make a point of doing something dramatic stop. I do make it fun, and I do involve them, and we just smile at it and we laugh, and I believe that they actually appreciate this rather than me being unhappy and missing that dramatic moment in the music. So I guess my point is we always want to follow as a follower, but if you have something that you really want to do in a particular time in music just once, I say go for it. But just do it in a cheeky, friendly way that you would still be involving your lead. We are at the top 5 tip, and I want to leave you with this. Styling is important because you get to express yourself on a dance floor. But styling is supposed to be unique to you. Yes, of course, we want to learn technique. We want to learn how to do things properly, as they say. But in the end of the day, you don't want to be just another person doing exactly the same thing. You want to have some of your personality come through. Some of us are a little bit more excited on the dance floor. Some of us are a little bit more reserved. None of it is good or bad, but it is different. And that's what makes dancing so beautiful. And there isn't anything more beautiful than somebody who works really hard and learn the technique, but then they try to improvise and come up with things of their own. And I think that's what I want to leave you with. Don't be like me. Don't be like anybody else. Learn from all the best teachers you can and then be yourself. That's the true freedom, true styling on the dance floor. The end. We finished with our video and our styling for bachata. Only few points, but addressing all the important bits like footwork, arm styling, body movement, musicality, and individuality. I hope you've learned something. If you haven't, I hope maybe you've heard something you forgot about. Either way, recommend this video to your friends, and of course, you have to subscribe. And if you have any other points that you thought I should have mentioned but didn't mention, feel free to comment and maybe I'll pick up on something that I think is important and I'll make another video. Guys, you are important to me and thank you so much for watching. I see you soon.